Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Man charged for Trelawny double murder. A man has been charged in connection with the May 28 shooting at Red Dirt in Duncan's Trelawny that claimed the lives of 2 men and left 2 others nursing gunshot wounds. The deceased are 28-year-old Jason Trail and Andre Dennis, 26, both unemployed residents of Red Dirt. Stevie Dunn, otherwise called Clarence, a 34-year-old unemployed man of a Duncan's address, has been charged with 2 counts of murder and wounding with intent after he turned himself into the police on Wednesday, July 6. Reports from the Major Investigations Division are that about 7:53 p.m., Trail Dennis and 2 other men were at a mechanic shop in Red Dirt when a Toyota Vaxi motor car drove up and 4 men, including Dunn, who were dressed in army fatigue, alighted with handguns. The gunmen opened fire at the group, and all 4 men were transported to hospital, where Trail and Dennis were pronounced dead. The other 2 injured men were admitted for treatment. Dunn was charged on Thursday, July 7, after a question and answer session with detectives. Portland records 6th murder in 2022. The Northeast Jamaica parish of Portland has recorded its 6th murder since the start of 2022. The victim is 29-year-old Russian Golden of Nillet Road in Port Antonio. It is reported that Golden was on Neutral Road as he made his way home when he was pounced upon by an unknown assailant who shot him multiple times. Golden was able to make his way to the Port Antonio Hospital, with 2 held in murder of 15-year-old boy. The suspects have been held in relation to the recent murder of a 15-year-old boy in Turnatop District in South Manchester. The police have 2 suspects in custody. They have not yet been charged. They will face an identification parade soon, a representative from the Police Corporate Communications Unit told reporters. Residents near the southern Manchester and southern St. Elizabeth border say they have been a space of robberies in the area, stretching from the district of Turnatop, Content and Littis. However, the robbery spree turned bloody last weekend as the nation was shocked by the murder of 15-year-old Restorer Sinclair, a student of New Forest High School. The teen had attempted to save his mother during a struggle with gunmen in the community Saturday night. Reports suggest Sinclair, otherwise called G, was asleep in his home in Turnatop District close to Manchester St. Elizabeth border when he was awakened by his screaming mother as armed robbers chased her into the house. Residents say the young man attacked the men with a fork, hurled it at them, and one of the gunmen shot him. They say the mother chased the men through the bushes. Residents say the robbers later returned to the house to finish off the mother but could not gain access to the house. 17-year-old to face court on gun charges. A 17-year-old boy is scheduled to face the court to answer to charges of illegal possession of firearm, illegal possession of ammunition, and 2 counts of wounding with intent, following an incident that occurred on Wednesday, June 22, at Cortica Portmore in St. Catherine. Reports from the Portmore police are that about 8:55 p.m., the teen allegedly pounced upon a man and a woman and opened gunfire at them. The injured people were assisted to hospital where they were treated and released. The teen's attorney handed him over to the police on Sunday, July 2nd. He was taken into custody and subsequently charged on Wednesday, July 6, following a question and answer interview. Man in custody after police seized firearm in St. James. A man is in custody after the St. James police seized a firearm and 3 rounds of ammunition during an operation at New Ramble in the parish on Thursday, July 6. Reports are that about 12:07 a.m., lawmen were in the area when they saw a man walking along the roadway with a bag. On seeing the police, the man ran and dropped the bag. He was apprehended and the bag retrieved. Examination of the bag revealed that it contained a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 3 rounds of ammunition. The man was subsequently taken into custody. His identity is being withheld pending further investigations. Driving instructor license required on the new Road Traffic Act. If you are a driving instructor who wants to continue offering driving lessons in Jamaica, you must be certified to do so when the new Road Traffic Act that was passed in 2018 takes effect. Additionally, all driving schools will have to be licensed to operate. The only exception to certification is where a family member or friend is teaching an individual to drive free of charge. The new requirements were outlined earlier this week by the Minister of Transport, Audley Shaw, during a debate on the regulations for the new act that he said will take effect after public education campaign. The Island Traffic Authority, ITA, is the entity tasked with ensuring that driving instructors obey the law. Shaw stated that other provisions in this part are new, setting out what is required for permission to be granted to provide such services. According to the regulations, a register of certified instructors and licensed schools will be kept by the ITA. The regulations outline that the prerequisites for a person who wishes to be certified as a driver instructor include being at least 24 years old, having not less than 2 years licensed driving experience, and successfully completion of a driving instructor training program approved by the authority. Other considerations include character references, criminal record check, and other security vetting and medical fitness. The authority has the discretion to certify an applicant or not based on the information presented and obtained. In the case of refusal, the authority should advise the applicant of same in writing with reason and to notify the applicant of his right under Section 44 of the Act to appeal to the tribunal a release stated. The certification is to be valid for 5 years but may be suspended or revoked under certain circumstances. In respect of the licensing of driving schools, a driving school requires a certified driving instructor as an owner, director, or partner, adequately equipped buildings to be used for classrooms, and an instructional program that meets or exceeds the standards established by the ITA. Additionally, driving instructors and driving schools are required to operate within the stated guidelines and to keep records as set out in the regulations. Other requirements include the maintenance of adequate insurance and the operation of safe vehicles. A certificate of completion is to be issued to students, which under certain circumstances may qualify the applicant for exemption from aspect of testing by the ITA. Lawmakers debate role of Jamaica Teaching Council. Lawmakers are giving thought to whether the Jamaica Teachers Council (JTC) should be restricted to intervene only in matters having to do with regulation of the license for teachers, and not probe matters which involve breaches of rules that are specific in institutions which are usually handled by school boards. There is also a suggestion that the JTC should have the authority to initiate a complaint against a teacher and has a separate team of people to investigate complaints in order to separate the investigative arm of its work from its regulatory powers so as not to influence students associated with those complaints. The Parliamentary Joint Selected Committee set up to review the JCT Act 2022 is now carrying out a detailed examination of the recommendations made by various stakeholders over the past several months. Government Senator Ransford Braham cautioned that there is a risk of some matters being proactive if left on the board alone. It can be a problem in the sense that it could be oppressive. However, we have to be careful because if there is a school board inquiry, sometimes it is an indefinite process. Probably the better way to deal with that is to give the council the power to stay with their hands if it is appropriate. I certainly would not want to see a situation where the council is boxed out because there is something happening at the school board, because the matter then would depend on the efficiency of that particular school board, he cautioned. Under the current regulations, there is no prescription for continuation of the probe into a complaint if the school board does not dispose of the matter within 9 months. The committee was advised that the regulations of the JTC bill should address this gap. According to Braham, if the council is presented with specific evidence, it should not be mandated to investigate every aspect of a complaint. I think we also must make provision that where somebody makes a complaint, provides the information, and the council immediately has a hearing, why should they be forced to investigate everything? They should not have the power to investigate if necessary, and where not necessary, they have their hearing and make their decision. The staff should be given the specific powers to investigate so that they don't have to go outside, and at the same time preserving the powers of separation, because the council would then not be involved in the investigation. Opposition Senator Lambert Brown, meanwhile, said care should be taken to not obfuscate general disciplinary matters provided for in the Education Act, with the powers being given to the council to investigate matters related to the conditions of registration and license. Disciplinary matters such as attendance are still provided for under the regulation of the Education Act and addressed at the school board level. The discussion surrounding possible double jeopardy of having teachers answer 2 or more bodies for the same complaint and ensuring that there is no interference by the JTC in disciplinary matters having to do with the rules of the individual schools arose from the JTA's submission to the committee. Braham argued that if the bill were to be amended to specify that the JTC is not authorized to intervene in those matters at the school level, the council could be denied the opportunity to intervene in cases related to teacher licensing which overlapped with contractual issues. I do not think that we should have any such limitation apart from what is being said already, allow the council to deal with disciplinary matters, even if those matters end up to also be matters that could arise out of the contract, the attorney insisted. He added that the council should also be able to initiate complaints. That is a very useful authority because the council may receive information that the public doesn't have. It would mean that they would have to go behind the scene and ask people to make a complaint, and I don't think that is appropriate. At least members of the council should be entitled, when so directed, to raise a complaint either to the disciplinary committee or the council, Braham stated. Under Section 51 of the JTC bill, upon receiving a complaint against a teacher or instructor, the council is, based on the particulars of the complaint, authorized to refer to the Education Ministry, the school board or employer of the teacher for investigation. The ministry may also designate individuals to investigate complaints received from the council. However, these complaints are specific to Section 51 of the bill, having to do with breaches of the license or authorization to teach, non-compliance with the conditions of their registration, or breach of professional standard or any provisions in the law. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.